interesting subject. We're going to talk about our very own Vice President, J.D. Vance, who says that you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. And our question is, did anyone ask any white American to apologize to anyone?
No one
So
asked.
no one has. So we want to cover that. We're going to hear from Benny Johnson because when the President of the United States make a statement to TP Turning Point USA, and you're talking to a 99.9% white audience, and you're somehow telling them that they don't have to apologize for being white when nobody asked them to. Like, what are we talking about? Is this white guilt? Or where's this coming from? The president, the vice president, excuse me, he's married to a woman that's darker than I am. She's black. She's an Indian. So are his kids. So, what provoked the vice president to feel as though that he has to make an announcement at Turning Point that white people do not have to apologize for being white? And I have never heard anybody or any white person felt like they in today's time that we've been, as far as black people, Hispanic, Asians, or whomever have
Native
ever,
Americans.
Native American, indigenous people have ever demanded an apology from white America. So we're going to dive into this and we want to hear from you and your comments. How do you feel about him making this statement? Is this America first? Is this about all Americans or is this just about white Americans? J.D. Vance plans on running in 2028. Erica Kirk at Turning Point USA, she endorsed him. Trump has only been into his term for what, 11 months? And he's being endorsed by Erica Kirk for president. Do J.D. Vance understands that he's not going to get voted into office without that white, not just white vote, but the black vote? That's they voted for Trump to get in,
Actually,
and Hispanics and Indigenous and Asians.
well,
Everyone voted to put Trump into office,
well,
and he's going to lose. You're losing right now, J.D. Vance.
after this, well, I'll tell my point of view. You will not see me voting for J.D. Vance, even though I voted for Trump now. I'd rather even vote for a Democrat over J.D. Vance after him saying this. Like after everything that white people have done to people of different cultures, to make it like you shouldn't have any remorse for um, indigenous and black people. That's just like offensive to me. And now I won't be voting for him. I know that for sure.
And you had liked J.D. Vance.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, the
that's what people
soldier. I
don't.
thought that was cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah. People don't understand that when people are rooting for people and they're supporting people, but then things coming out your mouth that he's turning it like white people are the victims. That white people have white guilt or white people are being victimized. I don't know if white people feel like that. Do you feel as though J.D. Vance is speaking for you? Are these your sentiments?
like,
Because I don't remember any news flash saying that any black person, indigenous, or anyone has ever asked a white person to apologize for anything of what has happened in past generations. Now, things have happened now.
well,
We might want an apology,
well,
but not from things that they were not involved in. They weren't even born yet.
My destroyer. You could thank us for all of the entertainment and the music and the culture of America that
Building America
building America. If you
for
have
free
you have
labor.
fatigue, you should be happy about everything we gave you, and you're welcome for that.
Free labor. You thank you very much. And don't let's not forget about the indigenous, but he brought up a touchy subject, and that's why we're diving into it. Because black people didn't kick this off.
Someone, someone said, "Hey, bro, your sister's fine." This is my mom, but thanks for the compliment to her.
Thank you. You know, the thing about it is that it's amazing how black people, and I don't know if he's directing this entirely towards black people. He's probably talking about the indigenous, Hispanics, the Muslims, he's Asians, he's talking about everyone. But no one asked for this conversation. No one blamed white people for being white. You know, I know that black people have always said that we can't help the color of our skin that we was born in. So when racism happens towards black people, like we can't change how we were born. Like people who were born a boy or a girl, like they try to change their identity, but black people can't change their identity. And we nor do we want to. We love being who God created us to be. I love my melanin in my skin. I love my ethnicity. I love the swag. I love everything that black people offer to the world, especially black Americans. We set the tone for the world. Style, fashion, music, from rock to country to R&B
Yo,
to jazz to
yo,
pop. It all comes from us. And
yo,
then free labor.
yo, guys, y'all would be really mad if y'all know how many white girls I've had as my
You know
girlfriends.
what? So it's not. It's just so
And they
amazing.
thinking they saw me on the same gender dating app.
It's just amazing how we didn't ask for this conversation. But this is you don't expect, like, times have truly changed. You would have never heard of in the past someone that wants to run for president of the United States of America that would go to a conference. And ever since Charlie Kirk unfortunately lost his life, I think that head of Turning Point is the vice president.
Okay.
JD Vance is the head of Turning Point USA.
Okay, we're gonna clarify something. Who's angry? Like who's angry at?
I'm excited. I am
They
happy
saying-
about
They
this.
saying they tired of our anger. Who's angry right now?
Well, that's a
Yeah,
stereotype.
none
Here
of
we
us
go
are
with it.
angry.
Here we go with the stereotype. Here we go. But you know what? We don't care because that ship has sailed. All that every time when white people express themselves and they're showing emotion, it's applauded. Soon as black people express how they feel in any manner, they could be attacked by 10 bullies, but they got to stay calm. We got to stay calm. We got to be extra human. You know, we have a right to feel as humans any type of way we choose to, and we don't answer to anyone in regards to our emotions, and neither should you. But anyway, we want to get to our very own vice president of the United States that really thinks he's going to get elected in 2028. I think if Trump runs again a third term in 2028, he would get voted in before JD Vance. Because people, believe it or not, they like Trump better than JD
It's
Vance.
funny what someone just said because they said that we're being the victims when JD Vance is making them all.
JD Vance is the victim. He's saying white people are the victims.
And we the victims.
We knew. Who knew? What's that Walmart quote? Who knew?
Yeah.
Why he's saying like white people are the victims, or white people, that's white guilt. They feel as though that white people need to apologize when nobody asked for an apology. That's my stance. Nobody even asked you for an apology. So where is this coming from? So anyway,
I destroyed your feelings, dude.
JD Vance is destroying his run for 2028 because if he thinks that he's going to get elected into office by just turning point and just focusing on the white community, like the white community are victims of the United States of America, when white community makes all the laws, they're head of all government, just for all the mayors and congressmen, senators, judges, police force, everyone is of that ethnicity. So how are you a victim when you run everything? You're running America.
Mugo Gapian, you got a stupid name, but Mugo Gapian. How about all the white school shooters? You never bring up white crime. It's always you're trying to make black people the face of crime.
Mass school shooters. They happen. Rapists, pedophiles, the majority of murderers, all of that is of your ethnicity. Cop killers, the majority of those. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But they want to show you when a black person commit a crime, then they want to show you a black person when guess what? We're not suffering like the media tries to tell you. We're not living all below poverty. We're movers and shakers, and we have accomplished a lot. We are educated, articulate. We are business owners. We're entrepreneurs. We're scientists, doctors, lawyers, multimillionaires, billionaires, entertainers. That's us.
What's it called? White nationalists?
Yeah, well,
this person got a cross as their picture and saying that we sound racist.
Well, you know what? You could say that all you want to, all that reverse psychology. We're going with our vice president. He's our vice president, J.D. Vance of the United States of America. This is what he said. And what we're doing, we're reacting towards it because J.D. Vance felt the need to tell a 99.9% majority white audience that white people don't have to apologize when nobody asked them
Well,
to.
and I'm not going to vote for JD. So
No,
that's done.
so where is that coming from? That's white. That sounds like white guilt. Where is that coming from? That he felt that he needed to say that in a crowd, not of of all Americans, all ethnicities. He said that for a crowd of white people, which the majority of Turning Point USA is majority white people. So, but we're going to talk further in it because I want to get to the president. I want to get to Benny Johnson because when the vice president says things, it's the reaction from other people that's a problem.
This isn't Trump though. This is JD doing this.
People will vote for Trump over JD if Trump ran in 2028 by far, and I would put money on that. They'd rather vote for President Trump than JD Vance. JD Vance, I don't know what he's trying to do, but you're losing. You're losing right now.
Someone said at least the whites have guilt. What guilt?
He said no. They don't have guilt. Yeah. That's the whole point. That's when he said you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. That means you can get rid of any guilt that you might have had. You don't have to have guilt about being white. And I never remember white people being guilty about being white in my life. And nor has anybody asked any white person to apologize for anything. But he has to be careful because he wants to run for president. And one thing that this administration is getting away from is that they got elected by all the people, not just one race of people. And they're moving farther and farther away from all Americans, which is a melting pot of different cultures and different ethnicities.
Like, go to New York City.
If they choose to move from it and think this is apartheid in South Africa where all white rule and all of that, then people are going to turn. The ones that now turn to the Republican Party, people like myself, are going to turn away from this party. This is a news flash. Yep. This is breaking news that people are not going to stand around because nobody's going back in the day. Nobody's talking about past hurts and stuff. But J.D. Vance felt the need to get in front of that crowd, and his voice carried weight around the world. He's the president of the vice president of the United States of America, and the world is full of people of different ethnicities and mostly brown. So when he says something like that, it carries a lot, and people are talking about it. And that's what we're going to do on Speak the Truth 2.0. We're going to talk about it because I think that J.D. Vance is moving in the wrong direction.
Moog, you tell me why we both are light skinned. You tell me why we both are light skinned. What happened to people?
We're lighter than J.D. Vance's wife.
Tell me why we're both light skinned. If you're educated enough to guess why.
Are you waiting for that answer?
Yeah, because what he said was
Because I want to get J.D. Vance on here so we can hear for what J.D. Vance had to say in regards.
Just tell you what I said, because he was making a point of, in Africa there's still slavery, and I was saying, why do you think we're both light skinned? Because of slavery is why we're light skinned. Because of white people having sex with black women that were African.
Yeah, there is still slavery going on in Africa. You're absolutely right. But right now we're talking about the United States of America. But we want to hear from our vice president what he has to say and why people feel as though it's controversy. That's why we want to. That is controversy. I'm not proving him right.
No, because the one guy's happy.
I'm not proving, and this is not about proving people right or wrong. We're trying to stay focused on what the vice president announced to the world, that white people are not owed anyone to give them an apology. And I'm saying nobody asked for apology from any white people. So I don't know where that came from or why he's talking like that when nobody said, oh, we demand apology from white people.
Well,
And they don't have to feel guilty about anything.
I know people in the chat are probably going to get mad at this, but I will vote for a Democrat now rather than voting for J.D. Vance. I even will vote for AOC before I would vote for J.D. Vance.
I don't know why he felt that he needed to make that statement, that it was so unnecessary. You're going to be at turning point probably for the 5th time since Charlie Kirk unfortunately lost his life. His widow wife and you have been doing some controversial embracing of one another, her grabbing your head and neck and you grabbing kind of near her behind and things like that, and it's supposed to be trouble in his household, and it's like it seems like he's the leader now of Turning Point USA because he's there more than I think he's at the White House. Every time I turn around, he's there. But J.D. Vance felt the need to announce to a 99.9% white audience that white people do not owe, anyone an apology. So I don't know where that came from. The white people don't have to apologize. So I don't know where that came from, and I don't know who asked white people for apology, but it wasn't us.
The thing is, I voted for Trump, but I'm saying after this election, I'm not going to vote for J.D. Vance because he's clearly going to be the one who runs. But Trump won't even endorse him to be president, so I don't know if he'll run. But I won't be voting for J.D., I know that.
I think he's getting off to the wrong foot, that he's feeling himself. Trump is only 11 months into his presidency, and he feels that he's at the point that he can make these bold statements and it's okay. But he has to remember that audience that was at Turning Point is not the world. Now, the rest of us are hearing what he said. And I think that if he felt that way, he should at least waited a while to come out of the closet with that statement, because that's not doing anything for his candidacy, because he's already planning on running for president of the United States. So anyway, we want to hear from what he had to say at Turning Point, but I think that
there's still so much important work to do, my friends. We're barely a year into this administration, not even a year into the administration. But I'm so proud of the accomplishments of the president and the entire administration. In just a year, we ended Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's border crisis. December marks 7 months straight of zero releases at the southern border. More than 2.5 million illegal immigrants have left the United States, the first time in over 50 years that we have had negative net migration, and it's just the start. When you restore sanity at the border, it shows up everywhere else. Rent prices are dropping 4 months in a row, and more native-born Americans are working than ever before. Kamala Harris opened the border and destroyed the economy. The Trump administration gave you net negative migration and much more job creation. Real wages are finally growing. Inflation is half of what it was under Democrats. Gas prices are their lowest in years. And we have finally made it clear that in the United States, we believe in hard work and merit. Unlike the left, we stand against treating anybody, and I love what Nikki said about this. We don't treat anybody different because of their race or their sex. So we have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, which is exactly where it belongs. In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college, because we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control.
That's not true. We do judge. It's like, I don't know why he felt the need to even bring up the Asians when talking about when they fill out the application. Trump is now having 600,000 Chinese come into our United States of America, into our colleges, while we're deporting a million plus people. I think what it said, like 1.4 million self-deport, maybe 900,000 that ICE has been able to deport. So we're getting rid of illegal immigrants, and we're bringing in immigrants, and we're bringing in Asians. So you gotta like stay on target. And people are judged, whether people want to admit it or not. People are judged by their ethnicity, the color of their skin,
Yeah.
about they're judged whether they're wealthy or poor. People, even if it's not the color, people do judge people. If they're
Height.
walking around, height, weight, you see a big fat person, you judge them.
Yeah.
You see a person that's a transgender, you judge them. You see a non-Christian, you judge them. So it's not just the color of your skin. So people do judge people. That's not going away no matter what J.D. Vance says. And he's married to an Indian woman.
That's the thing.
And that's why people are so baffled
Yeah.
by his actions, because it's like he's always disrespecting his wife and his own children.
See, it's not.
They're people of color. His wife is a person of color.
Yeah, and see, it's not good too, because him saying stuff like this has an effect on people.
It has a
It changes their way
profound
of thinking.
effect on people, and that's what we're trying to get across.
Yeah.
This is not about bashing him or bashing white people or going against. This is
I
a
love white people.
reaction.
Yeah.
This is a reaction to what our vice president, if you're a United States citizen, he is, whether you like him or not, he's your vice president. Whether you like Trump or not, he is your president. And if you don't like what's going on, you got to pray for these people. But J.D. Vance felt so comfortable getting in a room full of people like himself to make such a profound statement. I mean, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. When did that start? When did that start? It seemed like black people always had to apologize for being black. Like, if you're black, it's like you got to jump through hoops in this country, no matter how well educated, no matter what your accomplishments are. You could be a billionaire and go in a dollar store and you'll be followed around the store and pulling up in a Rolls Royce because you're black. That's the type of stigmas and stereotypes that have been placed on black Americans, that anytime a crime is committed by a black American, they're plastered this crazy looking picture, especially Fox News. They're plastered this picture of a black person. But when white people commit mass murder, school shootings, they find that high school or try to kill the president, assassinate the president like crooks. They find that high school picture and they plaster it and they say they suffered from mental illness or they had a tough childhood. But black people don't get that same grace, nor do we ask for it, because we're survivors. We're children of God. And that's what's important. That's who we are. But it's disheartening to hear J.D. Vance get up there. Now, if it was someone else that made that statement, it would be different.
Thank you, the real ego.
But when you have the vice president, y'all don't know the magnitude of the weight of his office.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you have a vice president of the United States make such a profound statement, that divides us. Either we want one nation under God or we don't. Is the goal to make America all white? And only white people are smart enough to have all the government positions, all the pilot positions, all the engineer positions, like nobody else is capable or intelligent enough to have the same positions that they, remember in football, one time they felt like a black person couldn't be quarterback because they didn't have the intelligence to do the plays, and now most of your quarterbacks are black. It's always trying to put people, you can't put people in a box, because God has given us all the same brain. There is no brain on this earth because of the color of your skin is smarter than the other. That's a proven fact. God gave us all the same capabilities. Only thing he changed was the color of our skin, and it goes by climate. The world was started with black people. The white people only came around like 10,000 years ago. Whether y'all know history or not, they try to hide everything from everyone, but that's history. But when you look at black people, indigenous, they have always been loving and kind to all people of all races, and that's a fact.
Someone said, what did J.D. Vance say? I missed this.
J.D. Vance said, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. And I said, who asked them to? When did who demanded an apology? Why did he feel as though that it was his position as Vice President of the United States at an all-white meeting, because that's what Turning Point USA is, that 99.9% of the attendees were white? Why did you feel as though, was it for applause? I mean, what was it for? Because if you're running for president, you need all the people to vote for you. So we're going to remember this. See, you know what's going to happen? The Democrats and everyone, they're going to pull all this back up in 2028 or 2027 when he start running for president to remind people of the comments that he made. So when he get on that stage, he's already showing he's not going to be the president for all people.
Jesus was not a prophet. He was God in the flesh.
He was the Son of God. That's right. So, but his words, just to show you the impact of his words, I'm going to go to Benny Johnson, because when he makes statements like that, people who are racist and grand wizards, like Elon Musk, I think he the grand wizard of Ku Klux Klan. He left South Africa. He want apartheid to be here and have all white control. That's what Elon wants, because that's where he comes from. He is racist. He's racist. And I think J.D. Vance, people are going to change his opinion. But I'm going to put on Benny Johnson, because this is the reaction of someone from Turning Point that has a big platform. He has over 6.3 million subscribers. That he's at the White House. Y'all know who Benny Johnson is. But this is the reaction that you get from someone that's a racist. And to him, it's like, okay, now we can be as racist as we want to. See what happens when the vice president make a statement like that? That gives everyone who's a racist a calling card to be more racist. More racist than they already are. Not just white people. Anybody, any color can be racist. But this gives a calling card. You are allowed, especially if you're white, to be as racist as you want to be. Now you could be as racist. Now you're the victim. You're the victim now. When you control everything, it's nothing that any other ethnicity controls in this land of the free. It's not controlled by any other ethnicity other than white people. So
not even Native Americans.
Not even Native Americans.
Fatigue. Are you tired of being passed up for promotion while being told that you are the problem?
What's up, guys? Benny. We often say we are back, boys, but we really mean it this time. The DOJ is now offering cash to white males who have been discriminated against by society, a society of wokeness and PI that had habitual and systemic discrimination racially, but against us. This has been proved.
Okay, we want to stop there. Now, Benny Johnson, he wanted to pull this article from Fox News. Federal watchdog urges white men to report possible workplace discrimination. Vance boosts message. So Benny Johnson, see, this is the repercussions of what the vice president just said. And we're going to debunk, before he continues, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, did not benefit black people or indigenous. It benefited white. See that white woman there, the head of EEOC? The majority of the people that benefited from diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, were white women.
You guys can look this up.
Fact check it. Was white women. But you know who they show you the face of? Black people. We're always the poster child for crime, for diversity, and then they don't want to give us reparations or civil rights. But now it's supposed to be discriminating against white men who already have all the jobs.
All the power.
They have all the power, all the jobs. So, but now Benny Johnson is making it that white men now are the victims. Now they're the victims.
You're a victim.
You're a victim. So let them continue.
Proven time and time again by thousands of studies now that the hiring managers and the quota systems that restricted white male candidates destroyed an entire generation of young, high achieving white men. And the DOJ is now demanding that there be retribution and reconciliation and reparations to white people. Incredible times that we are living in. Federal watchdog urges white men to report possible workplace discrimination. Vance, JD Vance, boosts the message. Federal watchdog shared a message on Wednesday asking white men to come forward with potential instances of racial discrimination in the workplace. JD Vance reposted the message from the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. You probably heard of it. The chairwoman of that commission posted a statement on X. Are you a white male who's experienced discrimination based on your work or race or sex? You may have a claim to recover money under federal civil rights laws. Contact us. Yes, this is a real post. Here's the post itself. It's been seen by millions of people, 7,000 reposts, 26,000 likes, and 2,000 comments. We are committed to identifying, attacking, and eliminating all race and sex discrimination, including against white males and employees and applicants. Oh, wow. Just the Overton window has broken now. It's great to see that the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission is asking white American men to file complaints as they experience workplace discrimination on the basis of sex or race. But it'd be even better and relevant if the authorities started fining and sanctioning corporations that openly boasted about anti-white discrimination. Corporate America promised to hire a lot more people of color. It actually did. Look at this. Whites were 6% of the hires. People of color were 94% of the hires. And the tertiary results of this are catastrophic, because if those young white men don't go get jobs, they don't buy homes, start families, have careers, have children. You're cutting off an entire race of people because of their skin color. You're destroying their futures. The tertiary results of that, of course, are spiraling poverty, collapse, like damaging entire families, legacies, some of them who have been in this country since the Revolutionary War and pre-war. Here's the commissioner here sounding off. You're 100% right. We need people to speak up. Discrimination against white males is unlawful. Race and sex discrimination. There's no permissible or good form of discrimination. I encourage you to reach out to my office. Look at this. Here's an individual saying, I no longer care about the stigma nor the views of people who oppose it. Nothing will change unless people speak up. No, it's not okay to remove people from searches if they're white, or worse, they're a white male. He's here giving an example at his college, Boston University, about how it was effectively illegal to hire white males. After years of global homo DEI brain rot coming to the federal government, it's refreshing to see the EEOC publicly stating that discrimination at all is illegal. Common sense. This is one of the articles from Compact Magazine that started it all. I think a lot of people think DEI is lame diversity seminars and racial slogans at NFL games. In reality, it's a deliberate program of discrimination, primarily against white men. It's an incredible piece that describes the evil of DEI and its consequences, says J.D. Vance.
That benefits white women.
And he did a thread here, sort of obviously popularizing this. I encourage you to go read this remarkable piece from Compact Magazine, where they go into effectively the Stasi of HR managers who demanded institutional racism against whites.
Supercharge the fan cash spins with.
See, that's what happens because look at him. They're applauding because JD Vance is staying on code. He's staying on code. This is what people like Benny Johnson wants. They don't want, he was, when they destroyed Black Lives Matter, whatever their thing that, what was it that they had in Washington? Yeah, the mural in Washington. He was there. He was so happy. He was so elated. What is wrong with you? Black people didn't care about that mural like that. That doesn't define who we are. Yeah. I mean, they get so excited. White people are not discriminated when they are the ones that do the hiring and firing. They're the ones that do the promotions. They're the ones that give all the opportunities for these jobs.
Hey, in the comments, guys, we're going to keep this respectful. Most of the comments we're getting, we can't see because YouTube holds it for moderation. So please be respectful in the comments.
You know, this is a conversation that needed to be had. And it wasn't brought up by us.
Because we can't see.
It wasn't brought up by people other than white people. This was brought up by, I'm just blown away that the current vice president of the United States of America felt as though that it was appropriate to address a 99.9% audience, Turning Point USA, formerly organization that Charlie Kirk started. It's like he's the face of Turning Point right now because he's always there, that he felt that in his beliefs that he needed to bestow on the audience that white people don't have to apologize for being white when nobody asked them to. Nobody demanded them to. So where is this coming from? Is it white guilt?
I wish people...
I mean, how can you explain his actions? Is he thinking that this is winning? Or he think that the only voters are white, that he's going to win a presidency by appealing to them? Because the more people act racist, this is not 1800s. This is 2025. We're getting ready to go into a new year.
Yeah.
And people are exposed to all social medias all over the world. So everybody gets all the information at speed of lightning time.
I wish, Mom, I wish people, like in the chat, the white people, they're obviously white people, could experience life as a black person. Because I keep seeing people saying racism doesn't exist anymore.
It does.
Racism, you're talking about the past. No,
it does.
Racism still exists. Me as a black man going into a store is much different than you as a white person going into a store. Racism hasn't left. It's not as severe as before, but it's still here.
But you have to understand, it doesn't matter how polished you are. It doesn't matter how professionally dressed you are. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter if you're a multi-millionaire, if you're a multi-billionaire. Because of the color of your skin and the picture and the stereotypes that have been plastered on the mainstream media for years in regards to black people, and even our very own president got in office and referred to black people as thugs. That carries around the world. So you even have illegal immigrants coming in looking at black Americans like black Americans are more of a threat than they are, and they're from gangs. So it carries a lot of weight. But now that I'm educated about the media, I was believing, because all I used to see on TV was only black faces, like black people were committing all the crimes, because they were not displaying the criminals that were committing most of the crimes. They don't show you them.
Oh, Jack is here. What's up, Jack?
Jack. You know, so I was fooled by mainstream media because they're not displaying all criminals. When those cop killers in Pennsylvania, guy, he killed 3 cops and critically injured 2. They wouldn't even mention his name. Trump never talked about it. All the mass shooters in all these schools, from the school shooter from shooting those kids at a Christian school, never mention it. Yeah. The guy that in Brown University, they don't talk about these school shooters or mass murderers or any of these things. You know, when it's white persuasion, they don't do it. But it's amazing.
Yeah, someone said yes, racism.
Racism does still exist. I don't walk around personally experiencing it on that level because I don't. I can hold my own. I don't. But that doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean that it's not there. That doesn't mean, like, when people act some type of way, I know how to handle them because I act like they do.
But cops look at black people differently than they look at white people.
Yeah, they do, but they're trained to look because black people, because of mainstream media, and because you can get away with assaulting black people, you can get away with killing. Who on God's green earth? If that was a white kid handcuffed behind his back on the ground and shot in the back dead, it would be outraged to the moon. Now, how are you going to say that you fear for your life like that? How does that happen all the time? Why do you think that they fill the prisons with black men? That's to stop black reproduction. All the Planned Parenthoods are in black areas. That's to keep black birth rate down. They've been successful at this. Why do you think they don't do anything about all these men being raped in jails? But they're more concerned about non-citizens in this country. But where are these politicians, senators? Stop. Rape is a crime. Regardless, if you're in jail and you're already there paying for your crimes to society, you're not supposed to go in there and be raped. How come nobody's doing anything about that? Because it's black men that are being raped in jail.
Yeah, and Jack said it's wild to me that people in this chat don't believe that racism is alive today.
It's alive. It's alive. You could go by traffic stops. Black people are still, if they have a traffic stop, because of a, not that they are a criminal. They now one traffic stop have they been a criminal. They are stopped by cops and then they might not leave alive. They become unalive from needing help from a cop.
To the people in the chat that disagree with us, how can you explain what happened to Elijah McCain? How can you explain that? This nerdy black kid, how can you explain what tragically happened to him? Everyone.
Yeah, well, no, there's not gonna be an answer. They don't go about nerdiness. They don't go by Trayvon Martin. He was a young boy, teenager, walking with Skittles. Went to the store to get Skittles, and because he was black, lost his life. Zimmerman got away with murder, sold the gun. They did a GoFundMe, raised his money. He harassed that boy's parents to no end. They had a lot of stamina because a lot of people, I don't know what might have happened to them, but they went through hell with that. And this man is still running around, still doing whatever he wanted to do because of the color of his skin. That child wasn't a threat to anyone. The Zimmerman is a threat to society. Yeah. He beat up his girlfriends, his wives, and everyone else. He was the threat, but he was never looked at it as a threat, even though he took a life that God provided. He took a life of a child, and he still never paid for that crime.
I believe his name, correct me if I'm wrong, but Philando Castile, telling the cop he's licensed to carry, and a cop still shooting him to death.
He was a union brother. He let him know his child in the car. The only one armed and dangerous was the cops. If you're that scared of being a cop, you need to turn in your badge because you're unfit for duty. You're unfit for duty because you're the threat. And black people, if you see a black cop, that don't mean that's your rescue because they got to show the other officers that I'm with you or my white partner. They going to beat you up even more. So even from our own people is what I'm saying. So racism is alive and well. And then they say, oh, let's get hired on merit. That's laughable. There's nothing merit about getting hired. You can look at our president, his whole cabinet is white, except for one guy, HUD leader. And then when they gave out honorees to the Border Patrol, it wasn't one black person there. You just hired 50,000 people. You're saying there weren't any black people deserving of being recognized? They're making everything like, if you're going to say merit, then you can't make it like the only people that have merit are white people. White people are not the smartest people on earth. It doesn't go by the color of your skin. God made all our brains with the same capabilities. Nobody, because of the color of your skin, you were born with a smarter brain. That's a fact. We have the best scientists, doctors, neurosurgeon Ben Carson, teachers, lawyers, professionals. This is all true.
I will correct you. Kamala Harris was not a black woman.
Yeah, she's not black. She was Indian. So it's amazing. But the thing about it is that they're not going by merit. And you have people like I showed you, like Benny Johnson. Like, what is J.D. Vance becoming? Is he becoming like a grand wizard? Like, who is he representing? I'd rather for you get in a room at least with some other ethnicities in there, because the president of the United States is the president of all Americans, regardless of race, creed, or color. He is the president of all Americans. It's one nation under God. And white people, like he's trying to paint like that white people don't have to apologize for nobody asked white people for apologies. So I'm like, what is this white guilt?
Well, we're making a channel that's for the black community. I'm saying that because someone said a funny comment. He said, "What are you, the head of the Black Panthers?"
No, we're not. The only thing we want to do is react. We want to make sense of it because he's not talking about apologizing to other white people. That's not what he said. He's not saying that. He's saying you don't owe apology to black people is what he's saying. Vance says white people don't have to apologize. That's not to one another. So if he's going to make a blatant statement like that, oh, and we have social media now, people. You people now hear everything around the world. It's not just CBS, NBC, Fox News, and Meet the Press. Now you have people on Twitter that's now known as X and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. People are getting ground news and every kind of news source you can think of. People are getting information from now. And when he makes a statement, it becomes world news.
Logan, isn't if you're a Christian, quote unquote, wouldn't you want us to be to feel good about what someone is saying about people of our culture and making remarks that has to do with our culture? You so-called Christian, a so-called Christian wouldn't say that. That's why I called you a white nationalist, because you're not saying things like a Christian would say. I don't know why, that's why, because people, they don't understand in this live stream because they're not black and they'll never live the life of a black person. Being black and how you get treated is totally different than if you're white and how you get treated. And this is common sense because white people are the majority, mostly in America's white people. White people are the people who are most likely to be president. White people are most likely to be vice president. So so you should understand that that you got white people get the upper hand on everything, whether it's jobs, whether it's any career you take, they get the upper hand and being interviewed for a job. So what we're saying shouldn't be that hard to believe, but I guess you guys can't understand it because you're not black. Only like black people, I guess, can understand what we're saying.
And it's just the thing about it is that every other race other than white has been looked down upon, especially black. So we're proud to be black as well as you are proud to be white. And you should be proud how God made you. I would never desire to be anything other than black. How God made me. I love my culture. I love being black. And you should love how God created you. It has nothing to do with your whiteness or our blackness or whatever the case. But when you have someone of that much power make a blanket statement like that, it resonates with people.
This also reminds me of when Trump was trying to remove slavery from the
Smithsonian. He was trying to move artifacts because he doesn't want people to remember the hardship. Do you know that black kids were being fed to alligators? Can you imagine the cruelty of that? Did you see these babies being ripped apart? Right. The things, the horrific things that were done, that's unspeakable, that's unthinkable. They were doing operations on black women and black people without any type of anesthesia and all. It's just so much has been done. The rape, let alone the rapes and being sold and all these things. And guess what? That's the past, but there still was 3 lynchings that was done since Charlie Kirk was unfortunately assassinated. But they don't talk about that. Black people don't hang themselves. But they don't talk. There's a lot of stuff that still goes on today time. And nobody goes around asking white people for any, but white people have been in control, but I don't know where the victimhood is coming from. Black people is not running the United States of America. Neither are the Asians. Neither are the Hispanics. So I don't know where all this is coming from. Nobody asked for an apology. So I don't understand why he felt as though that he needed to say that to an audience at Turning Point USA. I think as far as him being the vice president, he spends more time with Turning Point USA than he does as vice president of the United States of America. And he should be representing, guess what, this black woman right here.
That's right. It's not gaslighting when it's true. Exactly.
You know, he's supposed to represent all of us. And if he plans on or has aspirations of running for president, then he needs to learn that. When Trump was running for president, guess what he did? He embraced the black community. He was going to black churches. He was making his rounds, barbershops. Trump was saying, you know, black people, y'all should vote for me.
Timothy, I'm not talking about the world. You misinterpreted what I said. I'm talking about America. White people are the majority in America. Not talking
No,
about...
not the world. We know that.
I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about America.
You know, so I don't know what his aspirations are, but Trump is smarter than that. He didn't go into presidency trying just to get the white vote. He brags about that he got more black votes than Reagan did. Trump, like, he really, you know, he won all the swing states. That's not going to happen for J.D. Vance. He's already starting off wrong because he thinks that he has appeased the white community by saying certain things like the rest of the world's not here. You know how many people have done streams about this and have uploaded about this? This is all over Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. This is all over everywhere. It's not just us talking about it. Y'all have the opportunity to respond because you're in a live stream and a live chat. But this is all over. This is not just predicated to this live stream right here. This is conversation. And it needs to be addressed. You know, you got Benny Johnson running around like white people need reparations, but they won't still give black people reparations for what black people have endured in this country.
Christina, it went over your head. This whole live stream was about we're not looking for an apology. We are not looking for an apology about slavery. And you're saying
not at
that
all.
We're looking for that. You're missing the whole point of the live stream.
No one has ever said. But see, when people are stuck in what they have been shown their entire lives, how they think, maybe it's guilt. It must just be guilt. Yeah. It has to be guilt. Because nobody needs your apology. Nobody asked for your apology. Nobody demanded an apology. No one even asked for it. That's the whole point. The vice president is out of pocket. He's out of pocket. He got this Turning Point USA. I think he's the leader. He's the face of Turning Point. It's not Erica Kirk. It's Vice President J.D. Vance is the face of Turning Point USA. That's the face of it.
Also, where does he even come from? Like, making this statement? Like, how does he even get brought up?
Because there's a lot of racist people that have that agenda that he's around, like Elon Musk, Stephen Miller. You know, these are people are saying that they are extremely racist. You could look at Stephen Miller's history. He's putting together all these, a lot of Trump's speeches and the things and policies is coming from the people in the background, Stephen Miller. You know, he is truly trying to wipe out Black America any kind of way he can. And Elon Musk, he's more interested in bringing apartheid to the United States of America. And he would love to have all Black people probably show their papers to go around America and anybody else that's not white. These people have other agendas. Trump is about the Benjamins at the end of the day. And Trump has been a Democrat. And he has been in company of a lot of Black people. And he used to, hang out with Oprah and all of them until he became Republican. So I don't know his level of racism with Trump, but Trump knows how to embrace America, and that's how he got elected. So J.D. Vance, you can keep going down that road that you want this exclusion, and you're saying, now you're saying, and Benny Johnson and this EEO lady who's white, who is DEI, is saying, that they've been discriminated when, guess how many Black executives are there in this country? Look at Fortune 500. Look at everything, who's running everything and who's the top of the food chain. Who has the most opportunity? It's not us. It's white people.
This reminds
It's white people. It went from white men, and your DEI is white women. So it's white men, white women. So what seems to be the problem?
this kind of reminds me of the Sydney Sweeney ad saying "great genes."
It's amazing.
Where's,
You know what's happening here.
Where's that one guy, that one white man talking about this?
It's
not,
already in the history. You gotta go
it's
back
not
to my library.
No, it's not in the history.
It's in the library. You talking about the one that
Yeah.
I said looked like Native American?
No, the other guy.
What guy?
There's another white guy talking about it.
Oh, he was in his car, because that one I like you could kind of show him a little bit.
Yeah.
And the other one that was in his car, he's somewhere on.
Yeah.
He would be on that stream because I showed him, but he was in his car.
I don't see it.
Well, he's in there. But anyway, we still got a long ways to go. I just want, this is what I personally want. I want a president of the United States that's for all the people. I want a president of the United States that is fair to all people. Now, you talk about civil rights and you don't want black people. We're the least to benefit now from civil rights. It's the illegal immigrants. They're benefiting from civil rights. Or it's the Asians that's coming to the country, or the Hispanics, but it's not black people. We're not benefiting from civil rights. But now you want to say that white people are owed civil rights when they already have all the jobs and they have everything. But still don't want to give black people reparations, but white people should get reparations. This is just mind-boggling.
Got denied from TPUSA.
So it's just amazing when you put it together. But I think J.D. Vance should have thought long and hard if he had aspirations to become president of the United States when he married that Indian woman and has these Indian children, these black children, this dark-skinned Indian lady as his wife. Because I don't think that's going to fit the agenda for the White House. And then she's a non-Christian. I think she believes in what do in Buddha or something? I don't know. I'm not sure, but he's going to have a hard time getting elected with that type of baggage going into the White House. Not only with the rhetoric that's coming out of his mouth. You don't see Trump standing up there saying this.
Mugen, our whole family's successful. For example, I made $200K at 16, but our whole family's successful. My mom is very successful with a Beamer. My sister has her own house and has her accomplishments. Is the president of the Young Democrats, actually. Like, our whole family is successful. Our whole extensive family. We're all movers and shakers. We all have single-owned homes. We all drive luxury cars. I always pay for mine in cash. We all are educated. We all have degrees. We all are doing extremely well. We all are. I'm a director of publications and legislation. I've always had political positions, and that's what my daughter is doing right now, taking out of her mom. But yes, we don't have, when we talk, we're speaking for out of care for others. Oh, look, someone mad. They said, so you can't take that with you. Yeah, but that's what we got.
You know, so we're comfortable. But these are just legitimate discussions, and they're happening not just on this stream. It's not just here. This gives you an opportunity to say how you feel about it. I think that sometimes it's better to say less. I don't think that the vice president, because of his position and the seat that he holds, I don't think a statement like that should have came from him. Maybe Benny Johnson, because he's already a racist. He could get away with it.
A YouTuber.
Yeah, but I don't think that the vice president, especially one that's aspiring to become president, I just think that's something he maybe should have kept to himself. Because first of all, why make a statement when nobody asked for an apology in the first place? Nobody demanded an apology. Never even thought of apology. Nobody ever thought of white people apologizing for anything. So I don't even understand why he felt the need to get in front of that audience to say something as profound as that. And he needs to stop acting like he's Turning Point USA, and he needs to behave like he's actually has the second highest position in the nation. He's the vice president of this country.
Timothy, well, your ancestors did a lot to my ancestors.
You know, so it's conversation. He brought it up. And now that you have social media, guess what? People are going to talk about it. And when they talk about it, it's hard for people to hear because a lot of stuff said people don't want to hear it. But he brought it up. Why did he bring it up? What's the point of it? What did he accomplish bringing something like that up? Nobody asked for an apology. Nobody demanded apology. Nobody even thought. We got other problems like inflation, gas prices, food prices going to New Year. They say that the value of the dollar is being devalued. We got all kinds of stuff going on. We got still trying to end the wars between Russia and Ukraine, and we're bombing Venezuela boats and stuff, and we're doing all this stuff going on. And why is this still going on?
Why, to stop things like this from
Crazy.
happening from these morons. This is why black people should be in the White House and have black voices there to hear black people's opinion on certain topics.
You have to deal with all people. You have to deal with all people because this is a blended nation. It's a blended nation. And you can't separate that. You can ship out as many of the non-citizens that came in, but guess what? The rest of the people are still here.
I'm looking at your mom.
They're still here. So if we're going to be Americans, then we need to stand together. But J.D. Vance, you're not getting elected president. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I don't even have to wait till 2028.
You gonna vote for him?
I can tell you right now, hell no. I already told you a long time ago I wouldn't vote for him.
You did.
I told him from day one, I never liked
See, I
J.D.
was
Vance. I
considering it.
never liked
Yeah.
him.
But now,
It's a difference voting for Trump, voting for J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
He's not Trump. He's not MAGA. He's trying to ride the wave of MAGA. So he's trying to connect with Turning Point USA, thinking that's going to give him a ticket to become president. No, dog. Oh, how they say, nah, dog. It's not going to
I don't
happen.
even think Trump would vote for him.
Trump
still hasn't
wouldn't even
endorsed
endorse
him.
the dude yet. Trump is different.
Yeah.
And Trump knew how and what to say to get elected. Obviously, this man didn't get the memo because he's already starting out with dissing most of other Americans of other ethnicities.
Hey, respect Timothy.
What?
Oh, he said a nice comment. He said, "That's right, my guy. My daughter had black, so I ain't mad at you. Keep up your swag, homie." Respect, man.
God is good. But, I'm glad that he said what he said. We don't need to wait till 2028 to hear how people feel. I thank you, Vice President J.D. Vance, letting us know that you're not trying to be Vice President of the United States. You're trying to be the face of Turning Point USA. You accomplished that because you felt as though that you had to give that viral statement. You don't have to apologize for being white. Foreign News is talking about, CNN is talking about, every news outlet is talking about this. I'm just looking at my TV, Foreign News. Everybody's talking about what this man said.
And also, I got mad respect for Trump. I don't like how he is with black news reporters who are female.
Yeah, he's been disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I don't know
I don't know what that's about, but
what's governing that, his actions or whatever. But the people that are around you, it matters because birds of a feather flock together, and people can influence you in ways that you didn't. Instead of you making them better, they can influence you to be worse. So you got to be careful who you talk to, who you hang around, because say you're a Christian, you hang around people who aren't Christians, and they all of a sudden now you drinking, now you smoking, now you clubbing, and now you on drugs. But you were supposed to influence them to find Jesus and go to church and get married. So you got to be careful who you hang around.
I'm kind of missing Mike Pence right now.
Mike Pence. I never thought I would say that.
Thank
you. What did it say?
Jonathan said, "Crazy day for office 2028. He makes wacky plans." I don't know what that means, but thanks for the donation.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you. We do appreciate the donation. But I think that when you have aspirations to move forward in government, you have to understand now you're talking to the world. because world news is like a flash now. People are getting all this information instantly. And like I said, this conversation is being had is by every major news outlet, every last major news outlet. Like I said, it's not predicated just to Speak the Truth 2.0. And thanks you guys for joining. And subscribe to my other channel, Speak the Sports, while we're at it. It's a brand new channel and it's blowing up right away. And we only had it for 3 weeks, but we're looking for 50 subscribers. So if you like football, NFL football, college football, NBA basketball, please go over there and subscribe because we want to go live with our Speak the Sports channel. And we have Pray to All here. Subscribe to that channel as well. So you guys, so getting back to what I was saying, and don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe on this on Speak the Truth 2.0. But getting back to this, I just think that when you are powerful and you have the second highest position in the country, you need to watch what you say. Maybe he was feeling himself and he felt so comfortable, but he was looking at just a white audience, forgetting that America is full of other ethnicities that are watching you that wasn't there. It's millions more heard what he said than was in that conference that he was at.
And that's why our thumbnail is that featuring the people of color.
There's different ethnicities from Muslim, Hispanic to Asians to Black. That's America. That's America. It's the melting pot. And I just think that he forgot where he was at. And I don't think Trump would have gotten up there running for president.
Yeah.
Trump didn't, he never got up there and said anything like he just said. Because it's not going to work if you're running for office. And this will come back to bite him because millions of people have heard this now.
Just lost the black vote.
Millions and millions of people have heard this now.
Lost the Asian vote, Native American vote.
That's why he tried to cover up to, oh, you Asians, y'all don't have to worry about what y'all put on your application.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You don't have to worry about what you put on your application. It's not merit in this country. It's never been merit. No matter what they say, it's never about merit. If my son walks in and he can have his master's degree and a white young man, because they're talking about white people now, white guys, if he comes and he don't even have a degree, but you get hired 70% on personality, 30% on skill or experience. They were hired. They're going to hire that white young man. They're not going to allow him to walk out.
Yeah, glad I've been hearing about that. I saw a video too saying that the black content creators for Turning Point USA got kicked out. So people like Officer
they got kicked out. They were Myron. Is his name Myron?
It's Myron.
Yeah, Myron couldn't get in. He went there and they had the police escort his black butt. They did not let him in to TP USA. So, yeah, they weren't letting black people in. Not all black. Only black people was getting in was like probably Byron Donalds, people like that. Candace Owens, her and Erica Kirpin going at it back and forth. And, now she's caving into Candace, but I don't know what's going on. But Erica Kirp, I feel for her. She lost a husband, but she hasn't been acting like a grieving wife. I don't know what's going on there with her and JD Vance, but there's a lot of rumors going on between them. And she felt it in her spirit to endorse JD Vance.
I mean, we're not criticizing Donald Trump. We're criticizing JD Vance right now.
Yeah, this is not about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
This is not about him. This is about, but you can't judge because one person does something, even though he's associated with him because he is the vice president. But this is not about Trump. This falls solely on the shoulders of Vice President J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
He knew what he was saying. He thought about what he was saying. He felt as though that he could wiggle it in with no repercussions. But people like Benny Johnson ran what he said later. Yeah, white power. Yeah, let white people get reparations, not black people. Because white people are you're a victim now. Who knew?
To the one person's question, did we like Charlie Kirk? God rest his soul, but he did speak not in favor of black people.
Yeah, he was racist towards black people.
Yeah.
And then he spoke about Jesus. The turning point was to be Christians, but you got these racist Christians. They have to understand there's no white section in heaven. We're going to have spiritual bodies. You're not going to say, oh, well, God, they black and And it is not. God made all of us in His image. We're the apple of His eye. So it doesn't matter how you behave down here as far as, you know, comparing it to heaven. I mean, heaven is going to have what was down here. Every ethnicity is going to be in heaven. And you'll be surprised if God turned out, if you want to talk about color, if God turned out being black. They described Jesus with woolly hair in the Bible. They didn't even turn that. They say his feet was bronze. So
And also, we could say, like, it's not typical for us to do this because usually black consecrators who are Republicans speak against the black cause and black people. You know, there's a lot of sellouts that you can go watch to make you feel good. Cause I see a lot of people in the chat are upset, but this is just the truth, and we're just
yeah, and this is Speak the Truth 2.0. This is a reaction video. This is nothing that we have said. This came from the vice president. He's going to own this. We're not going to deflect and try to put it on the messenger. This is what he said. He has to answer to what he has spoken. And his position, he should allow somebody else to say it other than him that was at, if he wanted it said, it shouldn't have came from him. Because he's supposed to be representing all this. Something happens to Trump, God forbid, he becomes president. Is this his mindset? This is his mindset?
Not good.
It's not good. He's biased. He's coming off as racist. He's coming off like he's superior because of the color of his skin. He's coming off negative, and he sent out like that what he said. Any people who are racist, that's in a code that we could be worse than we already are towards certain ethnicities. You got Benny Johnson, he's happy as he can be. Oh yeah, see what he's all happy reading what JD Vance said and all that. These is like, you know, they act like they Ku Klux Klan. Who maybe we don't know. We don't know, but I don't know what is this so about the color of people's skin that triggers people so much.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. You have everything. You own everything. You're in charge of everything. You run everything. What seems to be the problem? And now you're saying that white people don't owe people an apology that nobody asked for. We good over here. We good. God is in control. Our help don't come from man. Man is fallible. We don't expect man to be perfect. We know man is jacked up. We know man has issues. But you want to get people with so many responses to what's going on. And it's, like I said, it's not predicated just to Speak the Truth 2.0. People are talking about this all over every social media. Period. You can't change the minds of everybody. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Sometimes it's better not to say anything. I think he would have been better off keeping that to himself. Wait and later on when you start building more of your own, you know, building his own grounds, you know, away from Trump. Like you can stand on your own 2 feet outside of Trump. Because he can't stand outside of Trump right now. Trump is the guy.
Usually people say this kind of stuff after they become president.
After they become president. You're right. He's ahead. The cart before the horse. Yeah. He's ahead of becoming president. You don't say this. You wait until after you get elected. My son is right. That's why I'm like looking at this. I'm baffled by it. Why would he say this now? But that's where his heart's at.
Yeah. That's
where his heart is at. And you're going to have people responding. You're going to have people that have a problem with it. And that's how it is. And I'm sorry if anybody got hurt feelings or whatever. That was not intended. It did not. We're the messenger. It didn't come from us. We're just reacting because we're Americans. We're Americans.
And this is why we're independent.
Yeah, we turn independent. It's like we trying to find a party for Democrats and we Republicans. Like I don't know. It's like Both parties need work to be done
Yeah.
on both sides at this point.
Someone said something funny in chat. They said both parties have been racist.
Both parties have been racist.
Yeah.
That's a fact. The Democrats have been extremely racist. And now the Republicans, they like, well, we don't need a black vote, nothing. But now they're doing what the Democrats been doing all along. The Republicans are starting to become more like the Democrat Party. They are. Republicans, they fought for civil rights. The Democrats did the filibuster for 70 days trying to overturn the civil rights. The Republicans weren't Jim Crow. That was the Democrats. The Republicans weren't for the 1994 crime bill that caused mass incarceration of black men. And then people would say, where the black fathers at? Y'all locked them all up all over false pretense. Even Biden had to admit it was wrong at the end of the day what they did. You know, all this stuff that's happening was the Democratic Party. Now it's like the Republican Party is now taking a page out of the Democratic Party. They're trying to go back to the 94 crime bill, trying to lock up people, calling people thugs. And I'm like, who knew? Like, what's going on here? It was the Democratic Party was the founders of the Ku Klux Klan from Pulaski, Tennessee. They started that.
Mom.
It was all Democrats.
Mom, you should be the next president.
I should be the next president.
Yeah.
Because you have to have someone that's going to stand for the people. What's so hard? We'll be a better nation if we can stand together. And we're going to have to one day. Because the open borders, everybody's here now. And Americans are going to need to stand one day. And y'all going to realize that sooner or later. You know, they had 4 years to plan out any kind of whatever they want to do. When they opened up the borders, the Democratic Party opened up the borders.
Here.
Y'all allowed everything unvetted to come in here. 2 million gotaways. Y'all know people Venezuela emptied out their prisons. Y'all know everything. I never knew the word Trinidad Raga and MS-13 gangs. You got the ISIS cartel, terror. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn. While we still fighting about race. We still look how petty all the stuff that's going on. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I love you guys. God bless you. We do love white people. We love white people. We love black people. We love Asians, indigenous, Indians, everyone that God created.
Yeah, I love all my ex-girlfriends too.
You know, so we are thankful to God. We're thankful to Jesus. People aren't perfect, but this conversation will continue on other networks, on other channels. Go to Ford News, go to Fox News, go to MSNBC, go to CBS. Every news source you could think of is talking about it. Everybody, go to YouTube. Everybody has done a show about it or doing a show about it. Like I said, it's not us. We're reacting to what was said because it's startling that it came from one of the highest office in this country. And I think that it was inappropriate. I think that he should have kept it to himself. Even if he felt that way, like my son said, he should have waited until after maybe he got elected president to let everybody know this is how I really feel. That's what smart people do. They wait until after they get elected, let you know this is how I really feel. So I guess he didn't learn that from Trump. Because Trump, he didn't run like that against Americans. He didn't run like that. And he saw the black Americans, especially black men. I think he had more black men voted for him than any president, I think, in the history of the United States of America. I mean, black men supported him, and then they got slapped in the face afterwards. You know, so it's amazing. But anyway, like this guy, I don't know if I want to show him. We don't have to apologize for being white anymore. Like this, I'm going to show you. This is a YouTuber.
It's a good video.
Is Ricardo Inacio. He looks Native American to me. I don't know if he's indigenous or, I guess he's Spanish. But this is his take, just to give you an idea of how other people are portraying this. We're not as harsh or whatever how they're looking at it, but this is what he had to say.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
When did white people ever have to apologize for being white? Where in the history of America did white people ever have to apologize for being white? I mean, am I missing a piece here? Am I missing a piece of history where white people had to apologize for being white? Literally never in the history of the United States of America have white people ever have to apologize for being white. We shouldn't have to apologize for being white. What he's trying to say is we shouldn't have to feel white guilt for all the damages that we've caused to non-white people with our systemic oppression. We shouldn't have to feel white guilt for not keeping our word. Every single treaty that you've made with Native Americans, you've broken. What happened to 40 acres and a mule? What happened to reparation? Oh, we can afford reparations, but you could afford 40 billion to Argentina, 65 billion to Ukraine. How many more billions to Israel? We can afford reparations. What you really mean is we don't want to help black people rise from the condition that we left them in with 300 years of slavery. We don't have to apologize for being white. What you're really trying to say is we shouldn't have to feel white guilt for our white supremacy, for our systemic racism. That's what he's trying to say. We shouldn't have to apologize for being white. You never have. And what led you to feel what it is that you're feeling, to say what you said, is called white guilt. And you're trying to convince yourself and your people not to feel it anymore. That's all it is, pal. And how are you and your entire administration going about helping white people not feeling white guilt? By encouraging them to be openly racist white supremacists? I mean, haven't you noticed all the white supremacy that all these MAGA politicians have been expressing lately? Literally, their entire campaign is led by white supremacy. Haven't you noticed how many white people today have been coming out the closet, the white supremacist closet, and decided to openly be racist again? Like back in the days? To these sort of white people, making America great again is taking it back where they could be white supremacist openly again. Call us racial slurs and not get in trouble. Discriminate against us. And the police, the government, the president is on their side about it. Donald Trump and his entire team has literally opened the doors for white people in this country to feel comfortable to be white supremacist and racist towards non-white people again. You never had to.
So this is what's on YouTube. And when you make a statement like JD Vance did, this is what people are saying. And that's what y'all don't understand. We haven't been on here talking as deeply as he is. But people, that's how all the ethnicities are receiving it.
And you guys can look it up too, that there's actual for even more like understanding what she's saying, there's white people who are going against what JD Vance said.
Yeah, it's a lot of white people that's on here. See, the thing about it is it's some white, it's amazing white people.
Yeah.
And they march and they fight and they say what's right. A lot of the people that are saying stuff, guess who they are? They're white. I could put up a lot of other white people. They don't like this. Mm-hmm. They're saying this. Because you know what? A lot of families are blended now. You look at a guy that looked like he from a motorcycle gang and he married to a black woman. You look like the old little white lady, whatever. She got black grandkids. They will die for them. Families are blended now. So the people that you think that are racist, they're not. And the people that are speaking up, it's not black people it's everybody that I've seen or could find. A lot of them are white people. They don't like it. They don't like the open racism, the white supremacy, and they don't like where it looks like they're trying to lead to cause more division in this country. And that's stirring the pot. So if I let the video play on and on, this is online. All this stuff is on there. Y'all could just look up JD Vance and look at the responses.
Yeah.
Go on Twitter. Look at what people are saying for yourself. Look at what they're saying. A lot of stuff you're not going to like if you're in agreement with it. And that's why JD Vance, this is something that he could have kept to himself. Wait till you get elected. Don't.
You shouldn't have thought this.
I don't
in the
even know
first
why. I'm
place.
just trying to figure it all out, you guys. And right before Christmas, you guys, if y'all don't look, we're about to approach Christmas Eve is tomorrow. And Merry Christmas, y'all. And God bless you guys. I hope you guys aren't turned off by all of this, but you got to talk about this is the tough stuff. This is a reaction. Like, you know how they have the view that we're putting up, but that don't mean that we go along with everything that's being said. That's how it is when you're online. You're just reacting to it. And but these are conversations, and that's why I like the live streams and whatever, because people can chat it up and they can um say how they feel or how they're interpreting it. But your coworkers have the same sentiments. Like people you're working next to that are different ethnicities, whites, blacks, Asians, Hispanic, everybody working, this is how they feel. Your neighbors. All your neighbors, like we live in, say, a predominantly white neighborhood, but there's still other ethnicities in the neighborhood. Congressman, if I vote a Republican, congressman is Democrat, but he still has to represent my household. So we're blended, all of us.
I understand what you're saying, talking about the homeless. You need to be putting a lot of blame on Joe Biden giving so much money to the illegal immigrants instead of the homeless.
He could have solved the homeless problem in America if they took those billions of dollars that they allow 14 plus million people enter this country on welfare. They had welfare because they came inside this country with the clothes on their backs. They didn't come with houses on their backs. They didn't come with cars on their backs. They didn't come with health care. They didn't come with food. They didn't come with money. They could have, and guess what's on the streets right now in the freezing cold? Americans and American vets and the disabled. All of them are still on the streets while we have taken care of people that have illegally entered this country. And I'm not saying we're not supposed to help one another, but we should have helped. I thought we couldn't help our own. And I found out if we could do it for them, we should do it for ours. Even now, they still not taking care of homeless Americans. Homeless Americans. A lot of veterans and seniors and people with mental illness. A lot of disabilities, and they can't take care of themselves. They're kicking so many people off of programs that you're going to have more homelessness. So anyway, you guys, we're going to jump off because I want to eat. And it's dark, and this is Christmas time. And thank you, Jesus, for just being who you are, God.
My dad, to enlighten you, actually has his own business that's very successful. And this, like I said before, we come from a successful family. I'm trying to make a joke saying my dad's selling drugs.
Well, that makes them feel comfortable because that's the stereotypes and stigmas have been put on Black people. It doesn't matter how well educated you are, what kind of car you're driving, how many degrees you have, that people feel comfortable if they can look at you and say, the biggest drug dealers are not Black people.
Yeah.
It's not Black people. If that's the case, we would be filthy rich. It's not Black people. But it makes people comfortable to put like DEI. They make Black people the face of that. They make Black people the face of welfare. They make Black people the face of SNAP, and it's not us. We don't get the benefits. We're the face of it, but we don't receive it. And those stereotypes are being debunked every day. That's why I thank God for social media. What did they say?
They probably watch a lot.
I thank God for social media now, because I used to believe that Black people were all criminals too, because that's all I saw on TV.
They said, you want me to read it?
What is it? Yeah.
They said, God bless President Donald Trump, and God bless Charlie Kirk, and God bless J.D. Vance.
Yeah, God bless America. How about that? God bless America. And J.D. Vance will not be elected. I can foresee the future right now. All you got to do is keep going down and dividing the citizens of this country, which Trump didn't do.
Just keep talking more.
Keep talking. He wanted to make certain people feel more superior, made them feel more comfortable, but that's not going to get them elected. So anyway, you guys, just enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your family. We're going to have a brunch, our family. We're going to have the waffles. We're going to make our waffles and everything. We're going to have a nice brunch and enjoy Christmas with our families. We're going to uplift Jesus because he died for our sins and he shed his blood so that we can go to him no matter what kind of sins we have. We can call on Jesus and be thankful for every day because people didn't wake up today. And if your family's healthy and if you're healthy, thank God.
And Kathy said, "Hello, beautiful lady. God bless you and your family."
Thank you so much.
God bless you too.
You guys, be thankful. Love one another. Love one another. Be thankful. Don't, our lives are like vapors, but eternity's forever. So if you don't know who Jesus is, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You don't know who Jesus is, you need to give your life to Christ. And Christmas is coming up. Yes.
It's just like every politician, everyone's against us as a black person. It's like everywhere I look, they say something against us or do something.
But you let it's a grain of salt. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
You have to pick to be in office, though, is the problem.
Well, that's why people are going to get out and vote, and people got to look at policies and stop voting for people who twerking it up. They got to vote for people who are going to do something that's going to benefit you, your family, your community. You have to make sure that they have a record of civil service, that they really are sincere about serving the people, because too many people get elected, and once they get elected, then they show their behinds and they don't do for right by all the people. And people are tired of it, regardless of parties. The Democrats have failed us, and so have the Republicans have failed us. We just want a president and vice president to be for all the people, and that's what makes America great. That's what makes America great. You got to be for all the people. Until we get that memo, we're that's how come the rest of the world don't even have the same respect for Americans any longer, because the way we treat one another and how racist we are, and they look down more to America. America used to be the standard. Everyone wanted to have the standard of Americans. We was the big dogs on campus. It's like we're losing that big dog status.
Wow.
They looking at us like Americans are really dumb. They only speak one language. They fight one another, and the other countries, they're about progress. They're about making it free healthcare for all their citizens. They not opening their borders and causing more debt and all this stuff we do here. It's crazy.
We need a president like Abraham Lincoln again, like JFK, because these presidents, they haven't been it, Not before Trump, but he's been saying a lot of things against people of my race, people of color. So.
Well, anyway, you guys, we about to jump off. God bless you. And if I don't know, I don't know if we do something, we'll come on and say Merry Christmas. If not, you guys, we wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. We got a new year coming. Get a journal, because life goes by like this. It goes by so fast. And if you don't set goals, you'll miss your life. So get a journal, have some goals. If it's to lose weight, don't wait to join the gym. Join the gym now. Be committed to something positive. Help someone, be kind to someone. That goes a long way. Just being kind. It's enough hate in the world. And just because people don't agree, that don't mean that they got to agree with you with everything. If they don't agree with you with everything, then I don't like you any longer. People have to stop that. The people are too sensitive. You can't say anything about people being emotional and sensitive. You can't even speak the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to be lied to, and they want to believe what they want to believe, But we gotta be better than that, because we're adults. Most people on here are adults. And we should be setting example for the younger people. Period. We should be acting like children. So you hurt my feelings. Oh, well, get over it. You'll be happy later on. But anyway, you guys, pray for your president. Pray for your vice president, but God said that you got to pray for those in authority over you. So the best thing you could do for JD Vance is to pray for him.
Yeah.
Because the influences y'all got to realize the influences around these people are powerful, and they dangling the money, the campaign money, they got the trillionaires, the billionaires, and people, and they got, they're performing, and they're going to do what they need to do to get those endorsements and that money. But we don't have to do that, because we don't owe anybody anything but to love them. So anyway, you guys, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have joined and you subscribe. All our shows are not like this, but I like having these type of conversations. It's good for us.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, you guys. We love you. God bless you.
God
Peace
bless.
out. And don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Get these likes up.